And so today's video is going to be all about meal prepping snacks. In fact, this kind of tastes like peanut butter cookie dough, which is a bonus. I love things that are healthy and good for you, but taste like a treat. We are gonna make some hummus because sometimes vegetables are just more fun when you have something to dip them in. So if you're on the go and don't have a ton of time to make a full breakfast spread, overnight oats are my go-to. Good morning, friends. Happy Saturday and welcome back to another video, and Happy New Year. This is our first video of the new year. I cannot believe it's already 2025. I hope your holidays were fun and joyful and restful. Mine surely were. I love the new year because I love new, fresh beginnings, and I feel like I always get super motivated to clean my house and get organized. And now that I have a little one, my days are a lot more busy, and I didn't realize how difficult it would be to make sure that I am also eating. And so today's video is going to be all about meal prepping snacks. One of my goals this year is to be more intentional and conscious about the ingredients and food I'm putting into my body. And it's so easy when you get busy to reach for a highly processed packaged snack. I'm super guilty of it. And so today I'm gonna give you a couple different ideas of snacks that you can meal prep at the beginning of the week to have in your fridge or your pantry. That way, if you do get hungry or you're on the go and looking for something quick to grab, you already have a healthy option made. So I'm gonna show you how to make my famous vanilla cinnamon granola, these chocolate peanut butter protein balls, some hummus for some fresh cut veggies that you can make a little snack box out of, and 4 different overnight oat recipes you can keep in the fridge. As always, all of these recipes will be linked down in the description box below on my website, NicoleTheNomad.com, so you can access them easily. If you're excited about this video and to learn how to make all of these yummy snacks, please give this video a big thumbs up. And if you're not already, hit that subscribe button and join the family. I post videos on here every single week, and I don't want you to miss them. All right, let's go. We're gonna start off with our granola. Granola is one of those things that I used to buy all the time because I love putting it on top of my smoothie bowls or having it with yogurt. But then once I made it, I was like, why have I not made this before? It's so easy, and you can make a big batch all at once, store it in an airtight container, and it lasts for like a week or two if you don't eat it all before then. This is just a good standard basic granola recipe. It's like vanilla, cinnamony, those are the flavor notes. If you wanted to add different things like dried cranberries, or I might even add some mini chocolate chips to this batch, you can totally jazz it up like that if you want. But in a big bowl, we're gonna start with 3 cups of rolled oats, then 2 tablespoons of melted coconut oil. The good thing about this recipe too is that you can just dump all the ingredients in the bowl at the same time and then mix it all up and it's done. So it's also super easy and comes together super quickly. 2 tablespoons of olive oil. We're using different oils just because it adds a little bit more flavor to the granola. 1/4 cup of maple syrup, 1/2 cup of shredded coconut. Now we need 1/2 cup of chopped pecans. Just kind of gonna give them a rough chop. It doesn't have to be perfect. You could also sub this out for a different kind of nut if you didn't like pecans. But I love the way these taste once they get roasted, and they're not too crunchy in the granola. Get these into a bowl. 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/2 tablespoon of brown sugar, about 1 teaspoon of vanilla, and finally a pinch of salt. All right, now we just need to stir all this together and make sure everything gets nice and coated with all the oils and the sugar and the salt. Another thing I really love about this recipe is that a lot of this stuff is probably already in your pantry, so you might even be able to make a batch right now. Gonna get a big sheet pan. We're just gonna dump this all out and spread it all out. Try to make it as even as possible. Okay, perfect. And then this is gonna bake at 325 for about 25 to 30 minutes. I actually prefer mine to be underbaked. Just watch it. If it starts to get really brown, you're gonna wanna pull it out. I did this one time and it got too brown and it almost tastes burnt. So once it starts to get nice and golden, pull it out because it also will continue to harden as it cools, and that'll give it that nice crunchy texture. We have a special guest. Willa has decided to join us. Now, while our granola is baking in the oven, we're gonna get started on our peanut butter protein energy balls. These are a fan favorite in this household. I go through these so quickly, and I haven't made them in a while. So I'm really excited to show you how to make these today. These are like the perfect snack. Oh, hello. Because they're so quick to whip up and they're just nice to have in the fridge, ready to go whenever you need to pop one in or take one on the go, have a snack on hand. And they're also really great if you're breastfeeding for your milk supply. In a medium bowl, we're gonna combine 1 cup of creamy peanut butter. I guess you could use chunky too, depending on your preference. 1/4 cup maple syrup. This is probably gonna be the end of my maple syrup. Yep. 1/3 cup rolled oats, 1/2 cup of almond flour. These are also gluten-free. 1 scoop of vanilla protein powder. Now 1 teaspoon or about a splash of vanilla, and a pinch of salt. I'm gonna give this a good mix. It should be really thick, almost like cookie dough. In fact, this kind of tastes like peanut butter cookie dough, which is a bonus. I love things that are healthy and good for you, but taste like a treat. One of my goals this year is to cut out even more refined sugars and processed foods. I feel like I say that every year, and it's just so easy as time goes by to choose convenience. And so doing things like like meal prepping my snacks ahead of time at the beginning of the week like this is so helpful, because then these are the snacks that are convenient, not some random packaged thing I have in my pantry that I should probably throw away. So I'm gonna try to make a habit of meal prepping my snacks this year. Now the last ingredient is mini chocolate chips. I like to give this a good mix before I add these in, just so it's already kind of ready to go. These are measured with love. Give those another good mix. It smells so good, Willa. I wish you could eat this, but you can't because you're too tiny. 4 more months. We can make all the snacks together. Until then, you can just sleep while I make them. Okay, and then you can try it, like see if you like it. Yeah, that's great. But if you needed to like add some more vanilla, if you want it a little bit sweeter, you can add more maple syrup. You can even put some honey in there. I think that's perfect though. So now you can just take a scoop, or you can use your hands. We're gonna scoop out the little balls. I kind of like to make them the size of like a golf ball, but if you feel like them bigger, you can do them bigger. If you like them smaller, you can do them smaller. This just seems like a good little bite-sized size. And I like storing these in like a glass Tupperware, and then you keep them in the fridge and they're ready to go. These are my favorite. All right, next we're gonna prep some veggie boxes, because let's be honest, vegetables are so much easier to eat when they are prepped, cut, and just ready to eat directly out of the fridge. I am guilty of getting so many vegetables at the grocery store, and then I stick them in the fridge, and then by the time I get to them, they've already gone bad. And so one thing that's helped me is to take the veggies out right when I get them and prep them, so that during the week when I get busy and I open the fridge, it's one less thing I have to do. I can just grab for the veggie box and eat some quick as a snack, or add some to my lunch. That way I actually eat the vegetables before they go bad. And so today we are gonna make some hummus, because sometimes vegetables are just more fun when you have something to dip them in. I'm a ranch girl. I love dipping my veggies in ranch, but today we are trying to be a little bit healthier, and we're gonna make a delicious hummus recipe, and it's actually a lot easier than you might think. We're gonna need a can of chickpeas or garbanzo beans, and we are just going to get these out of the can first and drain and rinse them. Okay, beans are drained and rinsed. We're gonna put these right into a food processor. You can also do this recipe in a high-speed blender if you have a Vitamix or a different blender. I've also done it in that before, and it works great. Okay, now we're gonna do a 1/3 cup of tahini. I found this at the grocery store, kind of in like the different culture section, like where they have the Mexican food, the Asian food, the kosher food. This was kind of in like the Mediterranean area, and it's the secret sauce for hummus. All right, 1/3 cup of that straight into the food processor. 1/2 teaspoon of fine sea salt. 1 large clove of garlic. I just smashed it with a knife. A little bit of ground cumin, like maybe a 1/4 teaspoon. Just gonna kind of guess. And then the juice from 1 lemon. And we will pulse this first. And then mix on low. Once the bulk of it is kind of mixed together, stop it. We're gonna kind of scrape down the sides. Then we're gonna go again, and while it's going, we're gonna take off this little top part. It looks like I feel like this looks like a train conductor, not a train conductor, but like the front of the train. At the back is called the caboose. What's the front of the train called? Anyhow, this reminds me of the top of a train. So we're gonna take out the little chimney part. While this is going on low, we're just gonna pour in about 3-ish tablespoons of olive oil. Just kind of eyeball it. All right, now grab a little tasting spoon and just give it a little taste. Oh. That's good. And from here, you can just kind of adjust. Like if you want a little bit more lemon, to give it a little bit more zing, you can add that. I feel like it needs a touch more salt and a little bit more olive oil. Make it a little bit more creamy. Send that back through. Oh yeah, that is looking really good. Now, we're just gonna get our veggies prepped. I'm gonna put them in a Tupperware. I wanted to do them in like little individual Tupperwares that had the divider, so I could do like the hummus with the veggies and maybe some crackers and make kind of like a little snack box situation. But then I realized I don't have Tupperwares like that, and so I can't do that. So if you have those, definitely do that. That would be super fun. Almost like a little homemade Lunchable. And honestly, I'm at home most of the days. And so even if I just have kind of like a home-based Tupperware where all my veggies are, I can just pull them out and make my own little snack plate. But this one extra step of meal prep, you'd be surprised, is the difference between me actually eating the vegetables and not eating the vegetables. Let's start with the celery. I have these little celery sticks. These are great. You can get the long ones and just cut them, but I had them at the store already cut. There's some baby carrots. And then I got these little tiny cucumbers at Costco that honestly you could just eat with the hummus. I think it will be more fun, and I think I will eat more of them if I chop them up. So I'm just gonna give these a quick little chop. We're just gonna get our hummus in a separate container. Now you have a fun little dip for your veggies. Before we move on to our final recipe, I wanted to come back to our granola because it is out of the oven. It has cooled down and I just want to show you what it looks like when it comes out and then get it in our jar here. So it's beautiful. I don't know, can you see how yummy that looks? It's perfectly golden brown. And then I just kind of use my hands. You can use a spoon or whatever. This is just for me and Chandler, so I don't really care. But you can feel, like, hear that texture? It's nice and crunchy. Just kind of get it all mixed up. I kind of like to leave some of the chunks, like these chunks, these are gold. So I kind of leave them. I don't want to get it too broken up, but just kind of loosen it up with your hands, and then any jar or airtight container will work. I like these ones just because it's easy to stick in the pantry, and then when we're making smoothie bowls or yogurt throughout the week, we can just pull it out and pour it out straight from there. But anything will do. Now this is kind of the hard part, to get this in our jar. Kind of a messy process. This, you guys, is so good to eat as cereal. Like if you just put it in a bowl with some milk. Oh, it's like one of my go-to little snacks here lately. Perfect. Now you have granola for the week. All right, the last thing we're gonna meal prep are some overnight oats. This is the perfect, quick, healthy breakfast. If you're on the go and don't have a ton of time to make a full breakfast spread, overnight oats are my go-to, especially now that I have a newborn. Most mornings, I don't have time to cook myself a full breakfast. So these are super easy to just grab right out of the fridge, get some quick nutrition in me, and they're super easy to make. I'm gonna do 4 different ones today. I don't like to make too many because I've made like 7, one for every day of the week before, and I feel like they go bad kind of near the second half of the week. So 3 to 4 is kind of my max. I'm adding half a cup of rolled oats to each of these jars. Now, classic overnight oats, you would just pour like double the amount of liquid if you're using almond milk or regular milk into your jars, but I want to make these a little bit more fun and add some flavor to them. So in a blender cup, I'm gonna do 1 cup of almond milk. This first one's gonna be blueberries. So I'm just gonna do a big handful of blueberries. You can use fresh or frozen. I actually have a ton of blueberries in my fridge, so I'm using fresh just so they don't go bad. That's honestly probably about a cup. Then we're gonna blend these up. Doesn't have to be an exact science to it. And then we're just gonna pour this over our oats. And then for this one, I always love adding a tablespoon of chia seeds for omega-3s and fiber, splash of vanilla, a little pinch of salt. And we're gonna do just a few more fresh blueberries, and then when I eat this in the morning, I can top it with a few more fresh berries. But I'm just gonna put a few in there for now. Lid on, give it a little shake. There we have our blueberry overnight oats. The next one we're gonna do is strawberry, and it's honestly a very similar concept. Fresh or frozen strawberries into your blender cup. 1 cup of whatever kind of milk you're using, and we'll blend this up. Pour over our oats. Tablespoon of chia seeds, a little splash of vanilla. If you wanted to do like a PB&J situation, you could add some peanut butter or blend some peanut butter up into that mixture, or you could do like peanut butter powder. That would be super yummy. I think to this one, I'm gonna do about a tablespoon of flaxseed just for some extra fiber, and then a few fresh strawberries. The lid on this one's really full, so it might not shake up that good, but we'll shake it the best we can. Oh yeah, there we go. Get everything mixed up, and there you have strawberry overnight oats. Next up is our peanut butter banana overnight oats. For this, I'm just going to take a full banana. Actually, I'm just gonna do about 3/4. I'm gonna save this half, and I'm gonna put fresh banana chunks in it at the end. Depending on how big your banana is, you can kind of do whatever. Then I'm gonna add a tablespoon of this peanut powder, or you can do a tablespoon of peanut butter. I might do 2 tablespoons of that, just cause I like it. 1 cup of whatever milk you're using, a little bit of cinnamon. This is gonna make this taste so good. And then blend this up. If you're making this one, I recommend you eat this one first, just because even though we blended the banana into this little milk base, bananas do brown pretty quickly. And so just to be safe, I would have this one be your first overnight oats that you eat for the week. We'll add our tablespoon of chia seeds, a little pinch of salt. We got our fresh banana chunks in there. And then in the morning, when I eat this one, I'm gonna top it with some peanut butter. Oh, it's so good. Ta-da! The last one we're gonna do is a chocolate overnight oats. This one is so yummy and decadent. You actually don't really need the blender for this unless you wanted to blend some strawberries into it or some banana as your base. You definitely could. I think I'm just gonna do this one straight in the jar. We're gonna add our milk. We're gonna do a tablespoon of flaxseed for fiber, 1 tablespoon of chia seeds, 1 tablespoon of our peanut powder. And again, you could also add peanut butter to this, but I find with the actual peanut butter, it's hard to shake up and blend unless you're using the blender. blender. So I usually do the peanut butter on top in the morning right before I eat it. And it's like the perfect topping. Okay, then we are going to do a tablespoon of cocoa powder and a pinch of salt. Give it a good shake. So easy. All of these took me less than 5 minutes to make. I'm just gonna pop these in the refrigerator and I'll probably eat this banana one tomorrow morning. Well, there you have it. All of our wonderful snacks are prepared. We have our hummus, our fresh cut veggies, our peanut butter protein energy balls, the famous vanilla cinnamon granola, and our 4 overnight oat recipes. Comment down below which one you are excited to try, or if you have, which one is your favorite. Once again, all of these recipes are linked down in the description box below. You can find them on my website. Comment below anything else you want to see here on this channel, but thank you so much for tuning in and watching today. I hope you have a great rest of your weekend and we'll see you next time. Bye.